The Hidden Vibrance, Southern Borderlands by Jasmine Rangel. A story about Southern Atlanta's Latino sites of resistance. Earlier this semester, I had the privilege of reading this piece by Jose L. S. Games, Mi Reina, Latino Landscapes in the Queen City, which really spoke to a lot of the experiences that I had as a young Mexican American girl growing up in a southern city. Every year growing up, we would take the summer or the winter months and go to San Luis Potosi, Mexico, where my parents are originally from. And when we weren't there, I was growing up in Forest Park, Georgia. Throughout that time when we lived in my hometown, Old Dixie Highway became a central part of how we experienced the city. Little did I know until now, Old Dixie Highway was actually a major part of the U.S. interstate system that connected Canada to Miami, Florida. I thought it would be fun to take you on a little drive to go see Old Dixie Highway and some of the other places that have had a transformative experience on me as I was growing up.
While we drive to our first location, I thought it would be great to give you some data and statistics about the area and just Latino communities in general around the U.S. Did you know that Latino neighborhoods in the U.S. have increased 232% from 1980 to 2010? Now here are some facts about the local area in Forest Park, Georgia. 17.3% of the population is foreign-born. The population is 30.1% Hispanic or Latino. The median household income is about $34,000. And 28.1% of the people are below the poverty line. Now, while these statistics on the forefront might show an area that is possibly in decline or is not economically valuable, this quote by Games really says something different. Latino landscapes do not represent areas in decline, but rather the emergence of a vibrant model of economic regeneration. Now that we've made it, it's important for you to know that there are 4 major commercial areas along Old Dixie Highway that are now mostly Latina serving businesses. Old Dixie Plaza and this strip with El Granero were places that me and my family frequented often to do groceries, to get haircuts, to do laundry, or sometimes often just to be in community with other Hispanics and Latinos in the area. Now, growing up and even to this day, a lot of people that aren't Hispanic or Latino don't really know about these areas and the important value that they bring to Hispanic individuals. Many scholars even comment on the planning field's oversight of the importance of Latinas and Latinos to the built environment. Similarly, like Games says here, these areas have actually thrived even though they've been quote-unquote out of sight for mainstream professionals or the local middle-class culture. But why is it that the surrounding area of Old Dixie and similar Latino urban landscapes are overlooked? Well, it could be because they have lower levels of political capital, and because of that, they don't attract the attention of political figures that might be able to bring in those big development bucks. Even though these areas might not be seen as valuable, they're still cheaper areas for people to come in and develop from, and that's still a risk that a lot of these areas are facing. Now let's focus a little bit more on the barrio and insurgent Latino borderlands. They are the result of uneven development, segregation, and discriminatory urban policies. But they're so much more than that. They're a reaffirmation of culture. They're an area for key commercial establishments. They're a means of socializing and socialization, but they're also a key critical connection to homelands that so many people are craving. In the last year, we found new value in these areas and how they connect us back home. Specifically for my family and so many other Mexican American families, these are the only places where we can confidently wire money back to our families in Mexico. Not only that, but they're also the only places that provide traditional food items that we normally would get back in our hometowns. While this just may seem like a nice story about a grocery store, it's so much more than that. These Latino and Latina businesses are critical to the Latino experience in the United States. These are spaces that completely blur the lines between our formal borders. The value and the role that these areas bring to the local community shed a new light on the importance of the built environment and who is forming it.